Welcome to the Cheers and Strings YouTube channel. I recently had Chris Robson on the podcast. If you'd like to see the full episode, it's in the description below. Here's a few of the songs that he performed while he was here.
Here is a man who thinks that money makes him happy. Here is a man who might be right, but does he value all the things you take for granted before he goes to bed each night? He disregards the starving hundreds. He doesn't understand their plight. He doesn't think a man of color should ever share his human rights. Here is a man with too much faith in what he reads. Here is a man who should take note to pay attention to alternative opinions before deciding how to vote. And if you're questioning his motives, oh, he'll think you're questioning his might. He says he's got the right agenda because he knows his wrongs from right. And here is a man who's always shouting. Here is a man who likes to laugh. Here is a man you should be wary of because he walks another path. And if you see him in the shadows, oh, be careful not to catch his eye. For your emotional awareness, well, it will simply pass him by. And if you ask me of the future, well, I wish I had the nerve to lie. The ones like us, well, they will always be neglected. Oh no, no matter how they try. Oh no, no matter how they try. And it's coming soon enough. If you look deep inside, there's nothing you can do. There's nowhere you can hide. And if you take a stand, well, they'll beat it out of you. 'Cause they don't give a damn. They don't care about you. No, they don't care about you. And if you're feeling disillusioned, oh, and you've given up the fight, you better find the darkest corner you can hide in. Try and make it through the night. And try and make it through the night. Okay, this song is called The Accountant. He always takes the train and reads the paper every morning. He's tired from the night before. You'll always see him yawning through his lunch at the cafe at the corner of the street. He'll be dressed like an accountant from his head down to his feet. He stares out the window at the perfect passers-by. There's very few that notice there's a glint within his eye. It's the spark of a life he hopes to live before he dies. Taking chances like an acrobat when through the air he flies. Reaching out for the hand of one he trusts just like a brother. Tempting fate when he swings from one trapeze into another. He lands in a safety net when things don't turn out right. All the things he dreams of when he lays asleep at night. And he shouts but no one hears him, so no one ever comes. He hears voices whispering but listening leaves him numb. He wants to test the waters but he's frightened he can't swim. He needs someone to push him in. On his way back to the office, he decides to clear his mind. Focus on the present, take it one step at a time. But soon his mind is wandering, he's staring at his neighbor, trying to find a new scenario where he could see her later. But suddenly he realizes she has caught his eye. Oh, he blushes like a berry, there's some things you cannot hide. And he shouts but no one hears him, so no one ever comes. He hears voices whispering but listening leaves him numb. He wants to test the waters but he's frightened he can't swim. He needs someone to push him in. And living on his own, he bides his time, letting everything just pass him by. Oh, he's ticking like a time bomb till something makes him step across the line. And kicking up his desk, he makes a beeline for the door. He fills his lungs with air, he tilts his head back, starts to roar. I've had enough of this, he says, I cannot fight that feeling. And clenching both his hands, he pumps his fists up to the ceiling, trying not to cry as everybody stops and stares. He waits for the trapeze like in his dreams, but it's not there. And he shouts but no one hears him, so no one ever comes. He hears the voices whispering but listening leaves him numb. He shouts but no one hears him. He shouts but no one hears him. He needs someone to push him in. Okay, this song is called The Last Dictator. Well, promise me now that you'll listen to what I might say. Heed the words that you heard, you can't always have it your way. If there's something that you just cannot get, let me know. Oh, I may not be a farmer, but I got some seeds to sow. You fight a good fight with your fist, but I'm afraid that your argument's missed its mark. You're fumbling for candles when others can see in the dark. Can't you see the destruction and the panic that you cause? The disgrace on my face, it doesn't put you above the law. And the oath that you took by the book was your word. Just to think that you're walking and win, well, you know that that's absurd. And you cannot demand my respect, 'cause your actions will always reflect your heart. You're fumbling for candles when others can see in the dark. And you say you're going to go away and think it all over. Man, I've heard that all before. And you say you're going to fight the fight and win the battles, but you'll never win the war. can. When you came in like a lion, you can leave like a man. And think about history before it decides on your fate. Take a stand, put your hand in my hand before it's too late. And don't tell me that you don't understand. You can start it by ripping your plans apart. You're fumbling for candles when others can see. You're fumbling for candles, but others can see. You're fumbling for candles, others can see what you've done to your family, your friends, and the free. Well, you're fumbling for candles, others can see in the dark. They can see in the dark. They can see in the dark. They can see in the dark. Right, this song is called Plastic Makes Perspex. Well, yesterday you said you told me that practice makes perfect, but plastic makes perspex, is what I heard. It's like when you told me that I'd get burned playing with fire. I called you a liar, but I got burned. And sometimes it seems like I live in another dimension every time that you mention something I haven't heard. And if I could lip read, I wouldn't rely on invention every time that you mention something I should have heard. You say you think that we're losing what we had together, and I say that never even entered my mind. It's like when you spend your time constantly checking the weather, when you'd be much better if you stepped outside. And sometimes it takes all the energy that I can muster when our lives lack luster to keep them alive. And mentally I just can't cope with the things that you're saying. That's why I'm not paying your voice any mind. They say that the change is as good as the rest, and absence makes the heart grow fonder. But I know that I can't compete with the rest, so you'll just have to stay here a little bit longer. And sometimes it seems that you're talking to me without reason, and I find that quite pleasing to hear what you say. Oh, but most of the time all I hear is a whine and I'm flagging. I've had enough of your nagging, so I walk away. Now you know you're dealing with feelings, and now mine are hurting to get back to flirting and start it again. So listen to reason, you know that we've been through some changes, and that rearranges the way things have been. So now when I hear someone say the phrase plastic makes perspex, I know it's practice makes perfect, 'cause I have learned. I know that I could get burned if I'm playing with fire, and I won't call you a liar, and I won't get burned. No, 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 I won't get burned.
So that was Chris Robson. If you're a musician or a band from the southeast of England and would like to be on the podcast, then just email me at the address below and I'll get back to you. Thanks for watching.